Budapest is one of the cheapest cities in Europe. In order to demonstrate this, I set myself a budget challenge to see what I could see and eat in a day within 4,000 forint, which is equivalent to about $10. One of the things that's going to make this challenge easier for me, and one of the best things about Budapest in general, is that all the sort of tourist attractions and all the hot spots of Budapest are all an easy walking distance within each other. So I'm staying in the old town, which is just outside the Jewish quarter. So everything is very close by. You can walk everywhere in 20 minutes to half an hour. So right now I'm walking through Andresi Avenue, which is supposed to be like a major road that goes right through Budapest. There's a lot of history and heritage behind it. In fact, to the point it's actually listed as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. I'm not entirely sure why. Yes, there's a lot of sort of old historic buildings. I don't know if you guys can see. And I guess there is a lot of history behind it, but nothing really stands out about it compared to other World Heritage Sites. I've walked up Andresi Avenue to Hero Square, which is one of the sort of largest squares in Budapest. It's also acts as sort of the entrance into the city park, which is just behind the square. And city park is also where you find Szesny thermal baths and Budapest Zoo. So whilst I won't be going to those places in today's video because my budget won't allow it, if you do have the money and you do want to splash out a little bit, then feel free to go to both those places. There are other cheaper thermal baths within Budapest if you're interested, but I'd say Szesny thermal bath is probably the most famous. So at the time of filming this video, it's the 27th of July, which is a Wednesday, and this Sunday on the 31st of July, it's the Hungarian Grand Prix. And as a big F1 fan, I'm really excited to be in the city at the time of the race. What's unique about Hungary is that usually when F1 races happen in other countries around the world, the F1 track is usually quite far away from the capital city, or any sort of city really, whereas in Hungary the F1 track, which is at Hungaroring, is only about a 20-minute drive from Budapest city centre, so it's just on the outskirts of the city. And as a result, there's loads of F1 related events going on around the city this week, and I'm planning to visit one of them, which is free to visit at the moment. I'm just at the Aston Martin F1 event, which has been sponsored by Peroni. You can see like there's a pit stop challenge behind me, there's some F1 tyres down there. So the actual event apparently only opens at 6, so I'm going to come back here at 6. Apparently there's an event going on today, so hopefully there might be someone famous here, who knows. I'll be back here at 6 to see what's happening. Just come to St. Stephen's Basilica, which is one of the largest churches in Budapest. It's free to enter, so I'm going to check it out. And it's also a lookout which you have to pay for. I'm not sure how much it is, so depending on the price, I might try and visit Lookout as well, which is supposed to give great views of the whole of Budapest. Just walked out of the Basilica. I didn't really want to talk inside because it was very quiet, and then I wanted to be respectful towards all the tourists and sort of people that were there. But yeah, as you could tell, it looked very beautiful. The only issue was, I thought it was free, and I think it's only, and that's what all the sort of reviews and sort of stuff told me online. But I think it's only free during like sort of the non-busy times of the year, so like winter and autumn and so forth. So I had to pay 1,200 forint to enter, which is about, I think about $3. So yeah, a hefty chunk of the budget went there, and so therefore I'm going to visit the Lookout, which was another 3,000 forint on top. So yeah, not worth it. Doesn't really fit in with the budget. I'm pretty hungry right now, so I'm trying to go out for lunch. Hopefully I can pick up a cheap lunch. Come to a little coffee house nearby the Basilica to grab a pesto croissant. Total cost of this is 990 forint, so it's about $2.50. So yeah, this is my lunch. So the croissant was decent. Won't lie, it wasn't the most filling thing in the world. But I've got about 1,800 forint left for the day. There's a few more things I want to see, which should be free. So hopefully I've got enough for a decent meal at the end. I've just come down from St. Stephen's Basilica to the banks of the River Danube. Behind me you can see the Hungarian Parliament, which is beautiful and extravagant. But more importantly, to the right of me, just behind me, you can see the memorial that's dedicated to the Jews that died during World War II in the city. This particular memorial is called the Shoes on the River Danube. It's probably one of the most important and poignant memorials in the city. There's loads of other memorials dedicated to what happened to them throughout the city, but I think this by far is the most important and definitely something you should visit whenever you're in Budapest. The memorial, I decided to walk about 20 minutes up the river to Margaret Island, which supposedly has lots of free things to do. There's a variety of sort of fountains, and there's a mini zoo and light garden, so I'm just going to walk through the island and see what it has to offer and hopefully stay within my budget, and hopefully also find a place to grab some food as well for dinner. So I managed to pick myself up a hot dog for 1,450 forints. So by my calculations, I have about 400 forint left to maybe pick up a snack or two. But yeah, Margaret Island is just beautiful. There's like a rose garden over there. There's so much to do here, and the island is so much more bigger than I thought it would be. Yeah, like I said, there's a rose garden there. There's another set of baths nearby. There's a zoo. There's loads of fountains, and there's also loads of churches as well. So you could definitely easily spend a couple of hours in this island just sort of spending time with your family. I spent a couple of hours walking around seeing what Margaret Island had to offer. Now I'm going to head back to where the Aston Martin F1 experience was. It's about 6:30 now, so hopefully I'm not too late. Hopefully there's something interesting there to see. So we had to queue about half an hour.
Yeah, it wasn't too long.
But we managed to go and see the F1 car. A bit sad there wasn't more of an event, but you know what? That's the closest I've been to an F1 car, and probably will be the closest I'll ever get to an F1 car, quite sadly. But yeah, so it was good to see it, and the fact that it was free as well makes it even better because it fits in with my budget for the day. And I saw something that...
There was also free drinks as well.
Exactly, they're doing free 0% beer, Peroni beer, but I hate beer, so we didn't touch it. And yeah, it fits with the budget, like I said. And the fact that this is something I wanted to always see an F1 car up this close since I was like a little kid. So the fact that we've finally been able to see it today is amazing. So it's 7:30 now. We're going to head back to the hotel because we've got to catch an early flight tomorrow morning back to London. I guess this is the end of my budget challenge video in Budapest. Hopefully I've shown you guys that it's possible to have a fun day out in Budapest on a budget. And if you guys have liked this, make sure you like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And if I get enough support, I might do this again in another city. Until then, stay safe. Make sure you check out all the other videos in my Budapest/Bratislava series from this trip. And as always, stay safe. I'll see you guys in the next one.